Good evening, everyone. My name is Landis Joy Morgan. I'm here with my beautiful co-host and my wife.
Hello, I'm Rotunda Morgan.
And you're tuned in to another episode of
Living
More
with
with the
the
Morgans.
Morgans.
You guys, it is good to be back with you guys
It
tonight. And, despite all the storms and stuff that are going on here right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we wanted to come to you live. We did not want to cancel. We didn't want to postpone. Why? Because we got to do this for y'all, for the people tonight, you guys. And so we've got a great episode of Living More with the Morgans. And before we get into it, before we jump into this thing, of course, we got to make sure that everything is coming across clear over the airwaves and across the visuals and the audio. And so if you are tuned in right now, you're probably tuned in on several different channels and networks and stations right here on social media. And you can find us on Living More with the Morgans on Facebook, facebook.com/Living More Morgans. You can find us right here on Facebook. We are actually live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube right now. So to all our people that are watching on YouTube right now, we can't see you, but if you are on our YouTube channel and you're tuned in to Living More with the Morgans, shout out to you. And if you're not on our YouTube channel, be sure to go over there and subscribe at youtube.com/Living More Morgans. We're also live on Twitter Periscope. So if Twitter is your thing, get over there on Twitter. Follow us over there on Twitter at twitter.com/Live More Morgans. Now, we're not live on Instagram just yet, but you can follow us on Instagram on our official Living More with the Morgans Instagram page. And you can find us there at instagram.com/Living More Morgans. And we're also on TikTok. Tick to the talk. We on TikTok, y'all, with the young people.
Yes.
We trying to get up in there, you know what I'm saying? We still got it.
Yeah,
we still got a little something.
We still got the hype.
So we over there on TikTok, you guys.
Yes.
Follow us on TikTok for exclusive content. You're not gonna see nowhere else on no other channel. It's only gonna be on our TikTok, and that's at tiktok.com/Living More Morgans. And so if TikTok is your thing, YouTube is your thing, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we all over the place, you guys. You got no excuse to tune in to Living More with the Morgans. And so you guys, as you're coming in, be sure to share on the page, share on your page, share the profile, share this video right now on your social media platforms. Get people to come in and tune in. Why? Because this is clean content. We don't do no cussing, no fussing. We always put that disclaimer out there, so we don't want Facebook or social media trying to shut us down. We ain't playing nobody else's raunchy music, none of that stuff. It's all clean content, but we gonna get in, we gonna dig in to these subject matters and these topics that we need to discuss. But as always, we're always gonna have fun. We gonna laugh, we gonna trip out, we gonna do what we do right here on Living More with the Morgans. And so if you guys are tuned in, let us know that you're tuned in on the social media channels right now. Again, if you're on Facebook, we can see you live from the Facebook page at Living More with the Morgans. So if you are tuned in, go ahead and hit us up in the comments. Let us know that you hear us loud and clear and that the visuals are coming through clear as well. And if you're on YouTube, we'll try to switch back and see that you guys can hear us and everything is good over there on YouTube and on Twitter as well. And so if you're not following us on our social media pages, we're all over social media, and you can find us at Living More with the Morgans. You can type it into your search and you'll definitely find our faces on there with the Living More with the Morgans and you guys. And so we're gonna have a good time tonight. We've got a great show. But before we get on, I just want to make sure that we don't miss anybody. And we've got people in the comment section. And we got our very own spiritual parents, spiritual papa and mama is in the building. Dr. Sean and Prophetess Beverly Nike are in this thing. And Papa says he is here watching from a curved, you got to throw that in, watching from a curved 55-inch 4K TV.
I was... While you were talking, I looked and I saw that. I was like,
you know he had to throw that. I knew he was going to throw that in.
Him and mommy.
Make sure it's curved 55-inch 4K joint.
You both so much.
Absolutely. Mama says blessings and shalom, son and daughter. I know that your show will be great tonight and love you both. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Papa's saying the sound is clear, the video is clear, and our very girl Tamika Green Long is in the building. She says, fam, man, it's been a minute, man. Life has been hitting us, you guys, and so you know, we got to go through life. We got to go through some things, but we transition it. But it's all for the better, though.
Yeah,
it's all for the better. And so
It
we
is.
getting better. Things are getting better on every side. And so you guys, and so that's what's going on with the hiatus. But you're going to see us. We ain't gone nowhere. We still, you know, where we need to be and everything. Right here at Living More with the Morgans. And so you guys, we just want to shout out you guys. Jessica Walker is in. She says hello, loud and clear. So what's going on, Jessica? Thank you so much for tuning in. And you guys, do us a favor. Be sure to share on your wall, share on your platforms. Get other people to tune in. If they single, if they, you know, they don't know what they are right now. They in the middle of a divorce. They married. They complicated. You know all the statuses that's going on right now. So regardless of where people are, ethnicity, age, whatever. Now, we ask for 18 and up because we do deal with some subject matter on this program that can get a little in depth with some things. And so we ask that no minors would tune into this channel, not because of the language or anything, but we do dive into some subject matter. So we just want to make sure that mature eyes and ears are listening to the broadcast. And so you guys, if they're single, if they're married, whatever, if they right now if they're dating, they're going through some things, have them tune in to Living More with the Morgans. Also, our website is coming soon, livingmorewiththemorgans.com. The domain is already reserved, and so here pretty soon we will be launching the Living More with the Morgans, and so you'll be able to watch directly from our website as well as the social media platforms, you guys. And so we are excited about that. Babe, how was your week been so far?
It's been good so far.
It's been good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My husband and I have a new hobby. I don't want to call it a hobby, but
what's that?
We play racquetball together.
Racquetball, you guys.
It's serious.
We've been hanging around white people. Racquetball. My wife has me playing racquetball, y'all. No, but it's on the cool. It's fun. I didn't think it was gonna be this fun.
See?
I had to admit, because my wife, she's played it before. She used to play when, you know, a couple years ago and everything. And my wife's very athletic. I'm the artist, so I got no athlete nowhere in me. Nowhere, but but it's fun, you guys, and you burn tons of calories. I mean, my watch be going off. I'm hitting 700-800 calories just in an hour of playing racquetball, you guys. And so that's something new that we've kind of explored together, and we found it, and we do it like 3 times a week now.
3 times a week.
And so you guys get your exercise in. We got to live long, you guys. We got to live long. We got things to do. We got places to go. We got people to help. We got kingdoms to build. We got people to edify. We got a God to glorify. You dig? And so let's build up these temples. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get I'm trying to get it good this summer. I'm trying to get the 6-pack out.
You're on your way.
Because I've been eating better.
You have.
I've been eating better.
And you're consistent.
I'm consistent in the gym.
And we're gonna stay consistent.
I've been cutting out some of the sweet stuff. Which is hard.
Yes, I know it is.
Not as many sodas.
Right.
So I'm getting.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. And how do you feel though?
I feel good. I feel I have more energy. I'm not going to sleep during the day. I'm not taking my midday nap or whatever.
Your siesta.
Siesta, whatever it's called. So I'm not. I do feel good. I do, and I'm sleeping better. I'm sleeping better, and so we're sharing this with you guys live on camera, because if you're dealing with some health issues, or if you want to just get better, maybe you're not dealing with any kind of health issues, but you just want to get better, you want to get back active, back in shape, do your thing. Now is the time. Summer is upon us in the next 2 weeks, couple of days. Summer will be here, you guys. And so you want to get it in. Find something that you love to do. My thing is, I love martial arts. I grew up, doing karate and stuff as a kid, but my wife, she's into athletics and volleyball and racquetball and all those things. And so we kind of found it together. She introduced it to me, and man, we've been doing it for the past about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks or so, consistently. And so that's that helps me to be more disciplined. Because like I said, the last program, if you guys watched that, I'm not the most organized cat in the world. And so it helps me to stay disciplined, keep a regimen going. And so you guys, we plan to live long right here on Living More with the Morgans, and we want you guys to do the same. And so we got a great show for you guys tonight. Again, before we jump into it, if you haven't already, please share on your wall. Please share on YouTube, share on Facebook, share on TikTok, everywhere that you can share anything about Living More with the Morgans, this broadcast, and it will be rebroadcast on tomorrow. So if you don't get a chance to check it out tonight, or if you send it to some people and they don't get a chance to watch it live tonight, it will be rebroadcast tomorrow. Excuse me, on all of our social media platforms. So it will be available for replay. You can watch it at any time on any of our social media platforms. And again, share this on your wall. We've got a good one tonight. And we gotta dig deep tonight. And we try to dig deep every night.
And we really, really want you to be interactive on this show.
Yes.
We're not just wanting to talk. We want feedback. We want dialogue.
Yes.
So this show is going to be a little deeper tonight, a little bit deeper, but I think this would be something, I mean, it's something that we're seeing. And so I know this will be something that you guys will totally understand and, recognize.
Yeah. And like my wife is saying, though, we want this to be an interactive program, right? And so we're going to stay connected to the comments that we're seeing here on Facebook. Again, unfortunately, we can only see one channel at the moment. So if you are commenting on YouTube or Twitter, we can't see your comments, but we want you to comment there as well, because we will go back and we will reply to those comments and we'll follow back up. But here on Facebook, if you guys are tuned in here, definitely be interactive with us. If you agree or if you don't agree, it's all love. It's all good. We want that discourse. We want that dialogue with you guys. And so it's all positive. It's no putting somebody down for their comment. There's no helter-skelter like that. We don't do that here on Living More with the Morgans. Everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their say, and we respect everybody's opinion, whether you're for the topic or you're against the topic, or whether you agree or you disagree.
Absolutely.
All right, fam? And so that's where we are tonight, and we've got a good one again. And so be sure to share it on your wall. And before we get into tonight, I want to shout out a good big brother of ours. The Apostle Larry Peters is celebrating a birthday today.
Happy birthday,
and
Apostle.
We want to shout him out because I think I read a story, I've heard some stories that he wasn't supposed to live, I think, past the age of 3 or something like that, or 3 months old, something like that. He ain't supposed to be here. And despite all the challenges and different things that he's gone through physically, with his own health and doctors pronouncing him he shouldn't be here, the man is still celebrating birthdays, fam. And so shout out to our very own big brother, Apostle Larry Peters, and his beautiful wife, Tony Peters. Happy birthday, sir, and enjoy this one. Enjoy this one to the max and to the full. And so, you guys, today's show, man, the question we're asking is, do you like you? And that's a tough question to kind of ask yourself. Why? Because in society today, we've got this very narcissistic viewpoint and perspective that's going around. Everything is about me, myself, and I. And if you don't really understand what narcissism means, it's like, I love seeing myself in the mirror that much. I love everything being centered around me, how I look, how I feel, what is it in it, what's in it for me and my advantage. And so right now the world has gotten very scary with that perspective, because a lot of things right now, if you look across a lot of social media platforms, it's about me, right? This is my Facebook page. This is my Instagram. This is my TikTok. And it's about me. This is my world. This is my message. I'm the influencer. I'm the leader or whatever. And so we got to be careful in that, because on one hand, we're celebrating ourselves, or we're admonishing ourselves, and we're edifying ourselves. But the downfall of that, on the other hand, is that who are we doing it for? Right? There's some underlying questions, some things there that's lurking in the shadows, if you will, as to why are a lot of us doing this. What is our why? We've had a show like that before called What is Our Why? What is your why?
Right.
And everything is built on a motive. Everything is built on intentionality. And so you're not just doing it to be doing it. You're just not on Facebook to just be on Facebook. You're not just on TikTok to be just on TikTok. There's a reason, there are motives as to why you're on these platforms. Maybe you have a message to give. Maybe you have something that God has put in your heart. Maybe you have a skill or a talent. And those are all noble, good reasons to be on social media. Nothing wrong with those things. Maybe you have a message or a product or a service that you want to introduce to the world, and you're doing it through these new technological advancements that we have, through the devices that we have. I was telling our sons a couple of days ago on WhatsApp is that it's a blessing that here they are way in Abuja, Nigeria, and we're in Dallas, Texas, and we're able, through technology that we have. We couldn't do this 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We could not talk to them, somebody way in Africa, especially for free, over an internet connection. That's crazy how far we've advanced, and it's only going to get better, and it's only going to get more robust, and it's going to get even more in our face, right? So we're going to have to keep up with that technology. But again, we have to understand that there has to be some kind of intentionality and you want some moral code behind what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's the scary thing now, because again, that narcissistic mentality is really settling in. And one thing I don't necessarily hear, and maybe they are in spaces, I don't necessarily hear the faith-based community really talking about that. The faith-based community is finally taking advantage of the technology. They're taking advantage of how we can spread the message of God or Christ or whatever their faith is, and how they can spread it across to multiple people. And that's great, that's good. But one of the things that we don't talk about is we don't talk about the dark side of technology and the dark side as to why people are doing what they're doing on social media, and then how it is becoming a detriment to our health and to our society as a whole. And that is what brings us up to the question for the show tonight is, do you like you? Because everything now, if you look on most, if not all the social media platforms, there's an option to select like, unlike, or thumbs up, thumbs down, and then a heart, which is love. Right? And several different emojis or emotions that you may feel about what it is that you're watching or what it is that you see on your screen. Right? So it's an open platform for people to readily be able to give their opinion about what it is that they're seeing or hearing or discussing and so forth. And there's pros and cons to that. And so what has happened, particularly with this generation, because of the advent of technology, and because everyone seemingly has an opinion that they can easily click on their screen and share what it is they feel about something, what is happening is, even though social media has become about me, look at what I'm doing, look at what I got going, look at who I am, underneath all of that, underneath the surface of that, can be some very dark things. And those dark things can be not only as to why you're doing it, but how what you're doing is affecting you internally.
Absolutely.
How what you're doing is affecting you mentally.
Right.
And so now we're just really starting to talk within our society here in America, we're starting to talk about mental health and mental health awareness and different things like that. Why? Why is that such a big thing now? Because we have exposure, and people have exposure, and what they're doing is they're exposing themselves. And what happens when you expose yourself, again, people can click on an emoji, they can click on an icon to see if they like you, or if they love you, or if they don't say anything at all. And the reason why that can be dangerous, just giving people the ammunition of their opinion, is because if you don't get a certain amount of likes, if you don't get a certain amount of views, if you don't get a certain amount of adoration and admiration from your audience, then people are starting to internalize that even more.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that?
You're absolutely right. We have to be, like you said, we're in the time of technology, which is a great thing. It's wonderful. Yeah. But there has to be, you have to be able to know when to, not allow that to infect you or your life or how you look at yourself, okay? There's times when I don't even get on. Now, we have a business. I have to get on. But there's times I don't get on. You know why? Because there's always something about either someone is showing themselves, their behind or their breast, or it's something bad all the time. Somebody's died. Somebody committed suicide. This is going on. That is going on. And we have to be so aware of that can get inside of our psyche, that it can begin to start to make us feel like, okay, am I good enough in some areas, or the world is going haywire. I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can get through it.
Right. And you hit it on the head, because we start asking ourselves, am I good enough? Right. Do I measure up to what I see other people doing? Right. And so we start internalizing those things, and and then the next thing you know, you're competing with people that you don't even know.
That's all right.
Right? And you're competing with people that you don't know, and you're competing with people that you do know.
Right.
And so you're acquiring, on all these social networks, you're acquiring friends and followers. Right? Follow me. Look at what I'm doing. I might not necessarily be even going anywhere, but I want you to follow me. Right? I want you to acquiesce to me. I want you to cling to me, so that I can show you what I'm doing, or what I'm proposing to do. And so that can be dangerous, because you're looking for affirmation and admiration from people. But what happens when you don't get it? That's that's the question I was posing earlier. So when you don't get the likes, when you don't get the hearts, when you don't get the love, and then when you get it and you don't get enough, right? It becomes almost like a drug.
It does.
Like I got that shot in the arm today where I got 100 likes on my picture. And like you said, we can go to social media, and it's like I go to Instagram, and I don't know how it either gets there or it's just there, but you look up and, like you said, somebody had butt naked, breasts hanging out, butt hanging out. I mean, it's two kinds of cleavage showing in the pictures and everything, right? And so you can't help but see it. It's right in front of you. You're a woman and you see it. I'm a man and I see it probably 10 times more than you. The algorithms know, what's out there. And so the thing of it is that we do have to be careful, but there's so much content and so much stuff that's being thrown at us. And then we have to be able to guard our hearts and our minds to where, no, I'm not with that today. Right,
because people begin to, there's a new, what I want to say, out there now, people, you have doctors, you have lawyers, you have all these people, these different professions. Then you have influencers.
Right.
Okay, influencers. Right. And what happens is, in this time, in this society, people begin to look at those quote unquote influencers, those that have all of these bought likes, to think to look at them and say, oh, okay, they have it together. They know what is going on. They know how I should look, or how I should behave, or what I should be wearing.
So they have the perception.
The perception.
They have the perception of, and I love that you said that. That's a great point. Is that what people don't understand is that you can buy likes.
You can buy them.
You can buy views.
You can buy them.
Right? And so when you're comparing yourself or competing with someone that don't even know you and you don't even know on social media, or you're asking yourself, am I enough because I'm not getting that?
Right.
Then what you don't know is that person could be buying the perception that they got it going on, the perception that, hey, I'm an influencer and I'm touching 10,000 people, 100,000 people, or whatever, right? And there are systems out there. There are systems, there are actual businesses out there that people can purchase likes. You can purchase followers, and people are doing it all the time, right? Don't think that, your favorite celebrity has 20 million people following you, because I guarantee you probably 70% of that 20 million is robots, or what we call bots. In the IT, technical world.
Right.
Bots are fake accounts, right? Or accounts that are created to put spam out there. And so this is what we're competing with. This is what we're low-key competing with. Right. And so what's happening is it's making us feel down about ourselves. Right. It's making us feel like we don't add up, like we don't have enough. Right. We're not beautiful enough. We're not pretty enough. We're not handsome enough. We don't have what it takes. We don't have the talent that it takes. We haven't been discovered yet. Nobody's looking at us like that. I don't have as many followers as this person. I'm not as influential as this person. And this is all playing a part in this mental illness collapse that is happening, particularly in America right now. It's happening all over the world. Right. But in America, especially here in the West, in the Western countries, it is huge right now.
And because, of course, United States is what influence. It's the
media capital of the world.
The media capital of the world. Right. You're absolutely right. So, if we're doing it here, if it's good here, then everybody around the world thinks, okay, it's great. Right. How many times have we spoken to our sons about that? They thinking, okay, well, if it's good in the United States, then it should be okay for us here. So we have to be careful. We have to be very careful in the time that we're living in now to understand that we are competing. We're so in competition now with one another. And as you said, you guys don't understand, some of you, because we're in this world, we understand technology to the extent that we do, because we're in the world of technology. But we understand that there's bots out there. We understand, and we know people buy likes. We know people do that often. Yeah. Just like you said, our favorite celebrities, and and people are following them, and if they buying this, you go buy it. You might not can afford it. Right. You go buy it because they are doing it. Right. So we're being influenced, or we're allowing ourselves to be influenced by things that doesn't matter.
Right, absolutely. And I wanted to use this to kind of preface the meat of the show tonight.
The meat of it, right?
Because if we jump right into the topic of beauty and all those different things without prefacing it with where we are in society, right, with technology, with social media, right, with what we have in the palm of our hands now, and why it is taking over, then you would miss the meat and potatoes of the discussion and why it's important. Yes. And so that's why I wanted to really kind of preface it with social media, you guys. And so we've got some people that are on, and I just want to acknowledge those that have jumped on. My man, Apostle Ron Davis, is in the building. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, He says, grace and peace, fam.
Grace and peace
Mother Myers, Carolyn Myers, is also in the building.
She
is on live with us right now. And so, again, if you guys are still tuned in, please feel free to share on your wall. We're finna dig into this bad boy tonight. And so we're talking about Do You Like You? And we're talking about how our society now is influenced with social media so much. But not just social media, but the regular media with news, right? How 24-hour news cycles and news stations are influencing our decisions. And it's pitting us against one another. It's pitting us against people that we used to love just 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, whatever, but we don't love them anymore. We don't associate with them anymore because they have sided with this particular political party, right? They used to, we used to see eye to eye. We used to have dinner, and our families used to love each other. But because you voted for this person and I voted for this person, we no longer want to see eye to eye. We no longer have dealings with one another. And those things have become influenced by what's always in our ears and in our eye gate, what we see on our devices. And so when you get certain news cycles and news channels are saying, hey, think this way, they're trying to do this to you. And they're spewing fear, and they're spewing religiosity, and they're spewing all these different things. And then it's making you fearful, which you put your guard up towards a different group of people, or a certain group of people. And so what does that do? That's breaking you down internally. right? You think it's building up a wall of protection against these outsiders so they don't intrude in your space. But what it is it's breaking you down mentally. So you get to a point to where you don't even know what to think. You don't know who to believe. You don't know who to trust. You're living in constant fear. You're schizophrenic. You're looking over your shoulder all the time, or you're going to. There are certain places you won't go out of fear because of what you saw on a particular news station, or what this broadcaster said, or what this politician said, and that is breaking us down. And so what happens is we start forming cliques with people that we agree with, and cliques with people that that agree on certain issues that we agree with, or side with us, and that is killing our society, and that's killing us individually and internally. The reason why I say that is because when you jump on your social media devices, you can easily go to those pages. You can go to those groups, and you can subscribe to those who believe as you do, who think as you think. And so you become so jaded and so one-sided and narrow-minded because you're not willing to come out of your cocoon to think bigger, to think broader. And what that's doing is it's killing you. It's killing you. It's like you're a turtle in a shell, and God wants you to experience the whole animal kingdom, but you want to stay in this shell. And you're missing opportunities. You're missing relationships that you could be building. And what it's doing is it's slowly killing you mentally. Right. And what happens when it kills you mentally, babe, is you start making dumb, stupid, poor decisions for your life. You do. And you start really making these decisions based on how other people make me feel. How will other people perceive me? Right. Will I be accepted in this clique? I'm going somewhere with this, you guys. Right. I'm building my case, if you will. And so when we ascribe to these different groups, we're building a defense mechanism around us so that we can be accepted. And just in case we aren't, then, it doesn't hurt me as much, or I won't let it hurt me. Right. I let that bounce. I got my guard up. But what it's doing is it's killing you internally. It is. And it's killing your health. Yes. It's killing your mental capacity. It's killing your mental fortitude. It's killing your relationships. Right. It's killing your potential of what you could be and where you could go, because you're fearful. Oh, I'm not going to that country. I'm not going to that side of the world because I saw on this news channel that, they're saying this and this and this. And you could be missing relationships and concepts and business ideas that would help you flourish and your family flourish, but you scared to go to this part of the world. Right. Why? Because you want to be accepted over here. And so you have to be careful of what your why is. You have to be careful of this defense mechanism that you've built up with what you've heard around you. And that's why it's so important. Us as Christians, my wife and I are Christians, and so those of us that are believers in Christ and in Christianity, or if you're a believer in a higher power or whatever, it's good to believe in something bigger than yourself, because you understand I don't have all the answers. Right. And I have to believe in something bigger in me that's going to protect me from everything that's going on outside of me. And if you don't have that, you're going to be living in constant fear. So that's why I say follow Christ. Because not only does he give you that protection from all that's going on in the world and protect your mind that's all going from the world, but he was so smart enough to leave us a blueprint, to leave us a life manual. Yeah. And so we can follow the word, and that can be our alternative to where when I'm scrolling through and I'm seeing stuff that I can't get with. Right. I can go to the manual. I can go to the blueprint, and I can get away. That's my hideaway. I can get away from that. Yeah. I don't have to delve into that where it changes my mind and it changes my outlook and my perspective on things that I really don't know nothing about. That's right. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Absolutely makes sense. Absolutely. So why am I building this case? Because what has happened in our society, you guys, is that people are walking around feeling less than. Right. I don't add up. I'm not beautiful enough.
Right.
I don't have what it takes. I need this kind of husband. I need this kind of wife. Who am I? I was born this way. Am I really born this way? All these different things right now are being shaped by media, being shaped by images and sound bites that the media and the world and the powers that be are putting out there constantly.
Right.
And so if you don't have a filter, if you don't have a spiritual internal filter to be able to block all that stuff out, it's going to kill you, fam.
Yeah.
It's going to literally start chipping away at your life.
That's what it's designed to do.
And that's what it's designed to do. To kill, steal, and destroy.
You.
So it's killing you internally. It's stealing your peace.
Right.
It's stealing your joy.
Right.
You know, it's doing all these things that it's robbing you from. And we don't realize it until we laying up, swinging in a rocking chair somewhere with a white jacket, you know, with our arms tied around us, saying, okay, well, what happened? What happened to Bill? Right. And so we're medicating this stuff with more and more acceptance. Again, I'm getting back to the social media. I'm just building my case. What's become medication for us is the narcissism of, let me look in the mirror. The mirror is no longer a mirror. The mirror is your cell phone.
Right.
The mirror is the platforms and the social media platforms that you're on, so that you can see yourself. I've seen something here the past couple of weeks, and it tripped me out. And maybe other people are not looking at it this way, but when I saw this, I was bugging because I was like, I've seen videos now that shows a person watching another video. So it's a video of the person reacting to themselves watching another video.
Yeah, I saw them.
And I'm like, why do I need to see, you know, and I'm like, why do I need to see your reaction on, you know, to what you think or what you're doing as watching another video?
Right.
Why not just share with me the video? No, I need to see your reaction.
Right.
And it didn't make sense to me. And I'm not against anybody who does it and who puts it out there. Do your thing. But when I saw that, I was like, I was trying to understand, what's the purpose of me watching someone else's reaction to the video that they're watching that they want me to see?
Right. It doesn't make sense. It's all a part of that ploy to suck you in and to make you feel like you should be doing this. You should look like this. You should be with these people. You should be doing all the things that social media and the world is saying that you should do.
If you're not reacting if you're not reacting similarly to how I reacted to this particular video, then we don't vibe with each other, right? And so again, we're slowly building up these walls against one another. So if you don't agree with me, or if you don't react the way I react, then we ain't really cool like that. We friends, but I don't follow you.
Right. Oh, God.
Right? Like we friends on social media, but I don't follow what you do because I don't really agree with, you don't agree with what I agree with.
Right.
You dig? Yes. And so again, we're severing relationships because of what the media is putting out there. And so what is that doing to us physically? And that's what I really want to get into tonight. That is the question that we pose. Do you like you?
Right.
Because it's taking a physical toll on people now. And one of the posts that I recently put out on yesterday on Facebook was about, and I was poking some fun, particularly us as black men, right? And we were out and about at, you and myself were out and about after we came from working out. And we saw a young lady, Caucasian lady. And this white girl had a big booty, y'all. I mean, just big, bodacious booty. And I can say that with my wife here, because she saw it too. And I'm like, and we both know, right? Ain't a white girl on this planet, and no, you know, this ain't no slight to my white girls that are watching and Caucasian women that are watching. This is all love, right? We having a little fun, so don't take it serious and don't be a Karen. That's not what we doing. But we know that ain't no white girls shaped like this, ain't got no butts like this. It's probably ain't even no sisters got some butts like this white girl had, and so she was trying so hard, And it was so cringeworthy. And I'm looking at my wife, she's looking at me, and we're just kind of like, you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
It's not laughing at her. It's not laughing at her pain.
No.
But it was like, you don't know who you are. You're not comfortable in your skin. Where you had to go and get this overtly humongous butt put in your pants, or butt injections, or BBL, Brazilian butt lift. And when we saw it, it was like, we're seeing it often. It's become a trend. But the thing that we were thinking about when we were coming home from that is that it's not just Caucasian women or women that are non-black doing this. We're seeing sisters now, black women, African women, African American women that are getting butt injections and plumping their lips and putting all of these foreign liquids and objects into their bodies. And the thing that's happening, you guys, is that women are dying from this stuff. And that's what the concern is about this. And
this
so
industry, if I might add,
yeah, please.
I was reading up on this and getting some statistics on cosmetic surgery, and this has been the global cosmetic surgery market grew from $42.55 billion in 2022 to now $46.45 billion in 2023 at a compound annual growth rate of 9.2%. I am astounded by this.
Right.
Because, as my husband has said, I've saw women that it doesn't look good on you. I'm concerned about your health, more importantly.
Right.
We don't have to do that. My concern is that we think that what we see on social media, what we see in the magazines, what we see from the influencers, what we see from those that are in Hollywood and all these different arenas, this is what we should be doing. And this is how we should look. And the competition now for women, and we talked about this, is not so much that you're competing to get a man. You guys are competing with one another.
Wow.
What is going on and what has happened? This is the question that I need to ask. And this is serious. What is going on? The industry is making money off of you. Some people are not surviving.
Right.
Going to, and we'll get into this later, getting these BBLs, if you don't know what that is, and it is Brazilian butt lifts. Going and injecting this in your body. Going to go, get breasts that are out to here, and you don't, and your lips are big, and everything doesn't look right. And this didn't just start. Okay, we've had celebrities over the past that we know, we could see. Look at their before and after pictures of how when you were growing up with that celebrity and you looked and you start seeing, wait a minute, what's going on with you?
Right.
Why have you changed? Why are you doing that? And a lot of times it's to stay relevant in Hollywood, but we're not in Hollywood, us as common folk. What are you doing it for?
Right.
What is the reason?
Jessica Walker, who's watching, she said it's a programming agenda.
It is.
And I completely agree, because what it's doing is it's programming our minds again to place us in, to try to place us at levels that we're not really at.
Right.
You mentioned something about Hollywood. The difference between Hollywood and, like you said, I love how you said it, common folk. Hollywood has the money where the celebrity or the actress can go to a certified cosmetic surgeon, and they can pay $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 to put in a BBL or to put in breasts or whatever it is that you're changing, right?
Right.
The common folk who are desiring the same effect of what they see the celebrities in Hollywood are getting is what the common folk can't afford $100,000 butt lift.
Right.
So what they're willing to do is get a butt lift on a bargain.
Right.
And let me dig into it.
Sure.
And we'll go somewhere to put foreign objects, foreign liquids into their body from someone who's not particularly certified.
Absolutely.
Someone who is not a professional.
Right. But babe, go back to why Hollywood.
Oh, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, why they're Hollywood, why they do that.
Oh, I'm gonna get there.
Yes.
I'm going there. And so with common people, again, common folk are trying to keep up with the Joneses, but at a bargain.
Right, right.
They're trying to keep up with Hollywood and what Hollywood deems as, like Jessica Walker says, the programming agenda. Hollywood says, this is the moniker. This is the level you want to be at. Now, you're asking, why is Hollywood there? Hollywood is there because Hollywood is saying, you're not going to be young forever. And if you want to stay relevant, if you want to stay visible, if you want to keep your career going, if you want to be in movies and on television, and you want to be the hot thing that's going down, you got to stay looking young. You got to stay popping. You got to stay, you got to be with it.
Right.
Right.
Everything got to be right and
everybody's
tight.
going to be right and tight.
Right.
Right. And so what the celebrities are doing, and you mainly saw it, and I know in my youth in the 80s and 90s, you mainly saw it from wealthy celebrities that were white.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
You saw it from white celebrities.
Right.
You didn't see it as much from African American black celebrities in Hollywood until they started getting money.
Right.
And it started becoming more pressure to stay younger or to look younger so that you can stay relevant in Hollywood, so that you can get the acting roles and so forth and so on, right? So their reason why is so that I can keep working.
Right.
Because they're in competition with the young people now that are being discovered off of TikTok, being discovered coming in right out of high school, and they're infiltrating Hollywood, getting all the new roles, getting all the new shows. You got Netflix, you got all these you got different channels and different avenues to create money now. And so they're in constant competition. The older celebrities in Hollywood, they're in competition to keep working.
Right.
And to stay afloat. And so what are they doing? The pressure is saying, you gotta look this way.
Right.
And so what we saw in the early 2000s, at the end of 99 and 2000s, the 2000s, excuse me, is we saw the Kardashian effect. And we saw the Paris Hilton effect.
Right.
And what we saw was, this is perfection.
Right.
Is if you look like Kim Kardashian or the Kardashians, if you look like Paris Hilton, if you look like this certain celebrity, right? You got to have this shape. Your waist got to be this small. Your hips got to be this big. Your behind got to be this fat. Your thighs got to be this. You got to have a thigh gap and all this different stuff.
Yes.
And you got to have lashes out to here. And you got to wear this kind of wig and this kind of weave. And all this stuff was becoming more prominent. But here's the thing. As technology was coming up, we're seeing more of the images in our face every day.
Right.
It's feeding us every day. So back then it was on when you cut on your cable television. If you had cable, you saw it on Entertainment Tonight, or you saw it on BET or whatever.
You saw it on the soap opera.
Or you saw it on the soap operas,
yes,
right?
That's where I first
You saw it on
yeah.
mainstream TV.
Mainstream TV.
Now it's in the palm of your hand daily.
Daily.
All the time
All
in your
the
face.
time.
So what the Kardashians did, they helped bring that mentality, whether they did it knowingly or unknowingly or intentionally or unintentionally, they brought that into Hollywood, they brought it into mainstream, and they brought it to the world and said, this is the epitome of beauty. This is the level of beauty that everyone should aspire to. Right. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Asian, Indian, whatever, this is the level of beauty. And guess what happened? All of the manufacturers, all of the clothing manufacturers, all the cosmetic lines all of the shampoo companies, all of the hair companies started seeing that and saying, there's money there, there's prestige there, there's notoriety there, there is fame there, there's business deals there, there's sponsorships there. We can get a piece of that pie.
Right.
What happens with that is that Hollywood has always done Hollywood. Hollywood hasn't changed. Hollywood is going to keep doing Hollywood.
Right.
What that mentality did, though, is it spilled over to, like you put it, the common folk.
Right.
The problem with that is the common folk will never be able to keep up with what Hollywood can do.
No.
And what Hollywood is doing.
No. No.
The reason why people are buying followers on their social media pages is why they're trying to keep up or to put off this persona or this this facade, if you will, of something that they're not at yet.
Right.
I told myself I'm not going to buy no followers. I'm going to grow all of our channels organically.
Right.
Whether if you rock with us, you rock with us. If you don't, I'm not finna force you and I ain't finna buy you.
Right.
And so you have people who are doing that, but what happens is that there are people that are competing. And if they're not getting enough of that, if I'm not getting enough of that crack hit in my arm, if I'm not getting enough of that high from your likes and from your follows and from your views and from your retweets, if I'm not getting enough of that, then I'm not good enough.
Right.
And then what that does is it kills me internally.
Right.
It says, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. When the Bible says, and we're getting there, when the Bible says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
That's the point I wanted.
That's where we're going.
Right. Right.
You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, when you say wonderful, what adjective can top wonderful in how something is created?
I don't know.
I can't think of a word that can top wonderful to describe something.
Right.
If I tell you, babe, you look wonderful, what other adjective can I tell you and give you that's going to make you think that you're more than the word wonderful?
Right.
God said in his word, you're wonderful.
Right.
I made you wonderfully.
Right.
If you can think of a word bigger and better than wonderful, try it. God said, try me. You can't. So we don't even take God and his word at face value.
Yeah.
Because we're constantly saying to God and to ourselves, oh no, I'm not good enough. Oh no, I don't have it. And when he said wonderfully made, he's just not talking about your physical. He was talking about everything that makes up you, your talent, your gift, your swag, how you walk, the width of your nose, how big your lips are. Right. You're wonderfully made, your skin tone, if you're light skinned, if you're dark skinned. And that's what brings us to the question, do you like you?
Right.
Because if he's saying that you're wonderfully made, he gave you the tip-top adjective to describe who you are and how he created you. Then what more are you looking for?
Right.
What more validation are you needing?
Yeah. As you said, there's some underlying issues.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't think we want to realize that we have these issues. You know, there's underlying issues. When we start to go into altering what God has created, and we start to look at ourselves as less than, or not equipped, or we don't look as good as she does. My behind ain't as big as her behind. Let me go get a bigger behind. My lips are not bigger than your lips.
Right.
In the way it's shaped, I want it to be more perkier and more shaped at the top with the angle at the top. Oh, my eyes ain't slanted enough. I want to go and get that done. Oh, not only that, I'm finna tattoo on my eyebrows too. I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. Oh, not only that, I'm gonna go ahead and go get me some more breast. I'm already a C cup. I'm finna be a double E cup.
Wow.
Do we understand that there's an underlying issue that we have to look at?
Wow.
You understand? Because it's not because, yes, all of these things are in our face every day. But at the end of the day, do you love you? Do you like you?
Yes.
And if you don't, and you're getting all these things done, you have to look and say,
when is enough?
When is enough?
When do I end?
There's something here that I need to address.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I want to touch real quick on what Jessica said, and I want to kind of, I want you guys to engage. This is great stuff.
Keep engaging, yes.
Keep asking your questions, keep making your statements. Jessica said, if the adversary can keep people in confusion about their identity, those individuals are less likely to realize who God called them to be in the kingdom. Absolutely.
They don't recognize it.
And they don't recognize it.
You see it, you guys, if you look at the world now, I've said this many times, it's changed so much just since 2020. It's more, like you said, it's more about me, me, me. Look at me, look at me, look at what I'm doing. Look what I got, look what I have. Competition is on the rise. It's just ridiculous. We've gotten to the point where we don't even know who we are. We don't even believe in what God has created in us.
Right.
That we have to go and look at someone else and see what they're doing, or see how I can be better than them. Jealousy is even the more. It's not just in the world, you guys. This is in church.
Right.
This is in our churches. This is everywhere.
It's in the
even our
community.
Kids.
Our children.
Children.
It's even, and I'm glad you said it, because, and the same thing that Jessica was saying, it's prevalent right now. The jealousy, the envy, the covetousness, it's prevalent in the faith-based in the faith-based world.
Yes.
And that's I think that's one of the commandments. I mean, somebody brushed me up on that. Thou don't covet what you see somebody else have.
It is in the Bible.
Right? And so when we do that, you guys, we're basically slapping God in the face and saying, "Oh, that ain't enough.
Right.
I need more.
I'm not enough."
And so I'm not enough. Exactly. Right. And so we're going to have to be careful, and we're going to have to open the dialogue about it, because just being quiet about stuff, you guys, and sweeping it under the rug and thinking we're going to pray stuff away. If we were praying stuff away, we wouldn't still have it today. We wouldn't still have the issues would not be getting worse if we could just pray something away.
No.
There are things that you're going to have to open your mouth, and you're going to have to talk. Even God said, when Joshua, when y'all march around this mountain, on the seventh time, open your mouth and shout, right. And the walls will come down. If you march around 7 times and you think that the walls are going to come down, guess what? The walls are going to stay up. Right. You had to open your mouth in order for them walls to come down. We're going to have to talk and have discourse intelligently so that we can deal with the issues that are going on in society, you guys.
And you know why? Because people are dying. People are going to other countries to get this done, yes. To get the Brazilian butt lifts, and to go and get these implants and different things. They are dying. They're coming back. They're not even some of them. I've read articles where people have died there on the operating table.
Yes.
Because we're trying to look and do it. We're trying to fix the outside.
There was one
when we are not fixing what's going on the inside.
Absolutely. There was one sister. I think she was a grandmother. Now, I want you guys to understand. This isn't just young people.
No.
This isn't just folk in their 20s and teens and 30s and 40s. No, this is people 50 and up, 60 and up,
yes.
That are going to get procedures done. Hear what we're saying, you guys. There's nothing wrong with enhancing your beauty. Enhancing.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with making something better. But in the quest to be better, think about the long term of your health.
Right.
Think about longevity. And so when I go and when a sister goes to some foreign country that she can't even pronounce, and she's trying to get a butt lift from a doctor she's never met because, with some chemicals that she doesn't know anything about, she's trying to get something cheap that someone on social media or in Hollywood paid top dollar for.
Right.
But here's the even thing about that. I can remember, and I'll just go back to my childhood, and y'all, and we're gonna stay on this a little bit tonight. I can remember in my childhood during the 80s, the 90s in particular, that when the rap scene was coming up, and we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop and rap, but in the 90s, all the music videos were pretty much kind of filled with a lot of the light-skinned girls, right? The light-skinned black girls, they were light, they were fine, they had the long hair, you know, the exotic wavy hair, they looked exotic, they had the pretty eyes, da-da-da-da. And so as a young black man, seeing that all the time in our music videos, seeing that that is what the rappers were accepting as beautiful, oh, this chick who is fine and that's what looks good to me, then guess what we did? We looked at that and said the same thing as, oh, I want the light-skinned girl with the long hair and the green eyes, right? Because that was what was cool and that's what was accepted.
Right.
We slowly, you know, we were seeing the Halle Berrys and we were seeing all, you know, the Vanessa Williams and all the light-skinned girls was getting all the play.
Right.
We slowly in the mid 90s, late 90s into 2000, we started seeing some of the darker skinned sisters starting to get their play, starting to get their time. And they was being in the music videos and they was doing their thing. And so we were starting to accept that within our culture, within black culture, right? But I also remember a time when I was young in the 90s where it was flipped even for us fellas, where the sisters wanted all the light-skinned brothers. They wanted Al B. Shore, they wanted, you know, El DeBarge, they wanted, they wanted all the light-skinned brothers because that was the in thing back then. LL Cool J and all them cat. They wasn't feeling us dark-skinned brothers at all, right? We had a little help come in from Wesley Snipes. We had a little help. Wesley Snipes helped us out a little bit. I mean, he, Denzel came and kind of helped us out a little bit. Some of the rappers came and helped us out. The R&B singers, they helped us out a little bit, right? So the dark-skinned brothers was getting played. But the point I'm trying to make is that ignorance was within our culture.
Right.
And it hadn't gone anywhere because the standard of beauty was told to us and force-fed to our mentality from the days of slavery, where the light-skinned woman could be in the house. She don't have to be outside doing all the dirty work and outside in the sun. So we let the light-skinned pretty girl come into the house, and the dark-skinned girl got to be working in the sun and in the heat and all this stuff. Same with the men, where the light-skinned brothers, and I had it in my family, on my side, on my mom's side of the family, brothers was light. One of the first black senators I'm related to, he was a light-skinned brother who could pass for white. And so this man owned land, he owned property, he was a millionaire because he could pass for white. Had he been a darker-skinned brother, it wouldn't have went down like that. Yeah. So we have had that, particularly as African Americans, we've had that within our culture for hundreds of years now.
Yes.
Even more so now, where you see this cyberbullying, you see this, the shaming of you're too dark, you're too this, and we're now trying to balance it out with dark skin is beautiful. We just in 2023, babe, just a couple of weeks ago here in the state of Texas, you guys, we just passed a law, I think it's called the Crown Act, where Governor Greg Abbott passed a law in 2023 that would not allow employers to discriminate against people of color because of their how they wear their hair.
Natural hair.
Their natural hair with braids, with cornrows, with afros, whatever. This had to be put into law in 2023 so that people would not discriminate against black people for how they wear their hair. That tells you how behind and how twisted we are right now in this country.
Right.
And that the beauty standards are out of control.
And I want to go back to something that you said. When you said there's nothing wrong with us enhancing the beauty that God gave us. Right. But there's something wrong when you alter it. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Wow.
When you alter what God gives you, there's something wrong there.
That's strong.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, because this is what is happening. There, like you said, there's nothing wrong with you wearing a hair weave or anything like that, or going to get your nails done and all of that. That's you're a woman. It's all good. Women that do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I go start putting in foreign stuff, and I start to, I reshape stuff and shape it another way, you know, not going to the gym and helping myself, but I'm shaping it another way. I'm adding, well, God gave me a little bit of booty, but I'm going to add a badonkadonk on it.
Right.
You know, I'm going to add something else to it. I'm going to, I got this, but I need more of that. You know, and I know there's, like you were telling me, that there are some women that were flat-chested and hear me good. We are not here to bash.
Right.
And we're not here talking about you doing these things. But I'm saying when you're inundated by these things, when you're inundated to look at what social media and what we're being programmed to look at, and you begin to say, this is what is the norm now. I am supposed to do this.
Right.
I'm supposed to alter myself.
Right.
I'm not, you know, I don't have what it takes. I don't look like the next person. The competition of, again, I was marveled by the fact that women now are competing with one another. I don't understand.
That's what I don't get.
What is going on here?
It's funny you say that, babe, because I was saying the same thing. Like, now I'm seeing women competing against each other.
Right.
They don't even dress for themselves.
They don't even dress.
They don't dress to even attract a man now. It's like, I'm finna out, you know, and I'm gonna say it how they say it. I'm gonna outdo this B. I'm finna slay. We're saying all these words that we don't even know we don't even know what we're saying.
Right.
Do you know what slay means? Do you know when you say, "Oh, my face is beat"? Do you know what you're saying? Do you know what you're putting in the atmosphere when you say that kind of stuff about yourself? And so I'm seeing the same thing. I'm looking at sisters like, why are you dressing or altering yourself to compete with another sister?
And the thing is, and you guys hear me good, you don't look like a woman. When we go too far.
Right.
Some women go too far. And again, there's an underlying issues.
Right.
Eyelashes out to here. Come on, you guys. Do you actually think if you're going to get a quality man, he's going to be like, oh my God, that girl is fine. Look at them eyelashes way out there. Oh, she done went got a badonkadonk, a Brazilian butt lip. She looking good. Do you guys know? I have a man right here.
Right.
Do you know what they're saying? They're talking about you guys. They're saying, what in the world is this?
Right.
You don't look authentic. You don't look real. You don't have that beauty, that natural beauty don't come through in your makeup. It's too much. You're putting on 17, 18 layers of makeup. Oh. They do this in Hollywood, you guys, because when you go on camera, the makeup has to show up. So you got to understand why things are being done. Right. When you're looking at Hollywood, when you're looking at what they're doing it because you have to have that makeup on to make you look better on camera.
On camera, right.
We don't need to wear 18 and 20 layers of makeup. I'm putting this. You watch me. Right. I don't understand any of that. I've been wearing makeup since I was 17. My mom allowed me to. I don't know how to layer and put all of that on. I'm saying to myself, that's going to give me a hot flash. Right. All that stuff on, and then the eyelashes to here. How you guys keep that on? You got to put on some glue. I've seen women put the hair bonding glue. They're using that
on their eyes.
On your eyes.
And
you're gonna cause an infection somewhere.
You're altering your body.
You're
altering things that you don't even understand. You got. Can I help the ladies that are watching?
This is from a man.
Because we tend to have more ladies watch this and that's cool. But I want to hip the ladies to something, especially the ladies that are single. I'm all man. So I'm going to hip it to you straight.
He is.
Straight up. A good man, and I do consider myself a good man. I consider myself a good. I think I got a pretty good background and rapport.
Right. Right.
We don't want all that. I don't even know how to say it. We don't want all the extracurriculars that y'all are trying to do to stay relevant or to stay popping or whatever. Stay popping for us. Don't stay popping because that's what they're doing on Housewives of Atlanta. You can't compete with Housewives. You're not on the show, baby boo.
Right.
You're not one of the cast members. So we don't even want them that's on Housewives of Atlanta. Good men. I ain't talking about these thirsty brothers who
thirsty.
I ain't talking about them. No job, no goals, no morals. I ain't talking about them cats. I'm talking about good, God-fearing men. We don't even want that. We want something, and I'm just gonna keep it real, because this is living more with the Morgans, we can do that on here. We want something soft. If you ain't got no booty, we want your booty. Right. We knew that when we met you. Right? We looked you up and down and all around when we met you.
Right.
So if I met you and you ain't got no butt, and I still feel you and I'm digging you, then I don't need you to go add one. I don't need you to go buy one. Right. If I'm a good man, I want you being soft, or you being toned. I want you being your healthiest. Yes. I want you to feel good in your clothes.
In your skin.
In your skin.
Yes.
If you got a little bit of weight, but you can carry that bad boy. When I met my wife, she was a lot thicker than what she is now. Mm-hmm. I was the skinny one. When we met, I was skinny, she was thick.
Right.
And the roles have reversed. But the thing of it is that as a good man, knowing that this is a good woman, when I met her, I didn't care that she had a little bit of, little package here and there. I didn't care because I looked at her. Right. My wife was already thick. She had hips, she had behind, she had breasts. I prayed for all of that. You dig? Don't go adding to it. Don't go putting stuff in your body that's foreign to add something more to yourself that I'm not even asking from you. Right. I don't even want that from you.
Love yourself.
I want you to love yourself, that when you look in the mirror, you have the confidence, whether you got no breasts or you got a lot of breasts, you got the confidence. Yes. And if I'm your man, if you're wanting to attract me as your man, see, that's what I'm saying. Society now is like,
it's twisted.
The ladies they're not even dressing to attract a man now. It's like they're dressing to be in competition with other women. And I'm not understanding this mentality. Like, if y'all could dress for us, y'all would know we don't like the eyelashes way out to here. You look like Jeffrey the giraffe. Toys R Us. I'm just being honest, fam. I love y'all. I love my sisters. I love you. I'm not bashing, but I'm just being truthful. I'm being honest. It don't look good to us. A majority of us good brothers, good men. Right. It don't look good. The big badonkey donk that's not real, right. If it's real and brothers like that, more power to you.
And don't go out don't wear clothing that is to attract someone.
Exactly.
Attract a man. Be yourself. I saw a young lady the other day. We were at the gym, and I'm like, you guys supposed to be working out. I see this in my profession all the time. It's gotten it bled over into that. Right. It ain't no more about health and looking good feeling good internally. Oh, you see how flat my stomach is, or you see how my stomach and my back is almost meeting each other, and then I got this big booty too. We a lot of them are not healthcare professionals, okay? Right. They just trying to show off and just show you, oh, okay, this what this is. We have to understand that if you don't love you, you're gonna attract someone that don't love them.
Right.
And you're gonna have two people that don't love each other.
Right.
And guess what? You're gonna get the rotten end of the stick.
Right.
Because he don't like himself. you don't like yourself, and then you're going to have a relationship that's going to be built on that.
Right. It's going to be miserable.
It's going to be miserable.
Right.
You have to understand this. The competition, knowing who you are as a person.
Yes.
If you don't know, go find out.
Right.
Spend some time with yourself.
With yourself. And that, I love that you said it, because social media can't teach you that.
It won't teach you that.
I know one of the things that we're doing, even as Christians, as believers, is that I'm still seeking and searching after who we come from as a people.
Right, right.
Because people will tell us, oh, we're all part of the family of Jesus. Okay, but you're white and you know that you come from Europe. You know that you come from Germany. Or you're Hispanic and you know you come from this part of Mexico or this part of Latin America, right? And you know your original culture, you know your original language, and you know your original family tree and all this stuff, and you know what tribe you come from, right? We as African Americans don't. So there's something in us that my wife and I, as we're going through the season, where we want to know, where do we come from? Why? Because we want to know if if the bow has been stretched back this far. Then the farther we know that it's been stretched, we know that when it's released, we're going to shoot further in that arrow. And so I want to know my history, because I want to know how deep and how far back we've gone. Right. Because I want to know how far we can go.
Right.
And so I want to know even greater of who my people are, so I know my potential.
Right.
I want to know, I may not get it down to the tribe, but I want to know if I'm Nigerian, if I'm Cameroonian, if I'm, I want to know where I'm from, because I want to know the culture of my people. And I want to be able to bring something to my people, and knowledge and wisdom that I've gotten over here on this side of the world, bring it to them, and they impart into me what it is that they've always had.
And it'll help build you as a person.
Exactly.
So that you'll have what you need to be able to go forward in the things that you're doing.
But the reason why I'm saying that, I'm even saying it, is because I don't get that from affirmations on social media. I don't get that from the media. I don't get that from watching Fox News or CNN.
No.
Or I don't get that from watching TBN versus Daystar. I don't get that. I have to get that from study, from knowledge, and from God prompted me and saying, this is where you go. This is where you're at. This is where you come from. He says seek. And so that's what we're doing. Yes. But I can't get that if I'm in constant competition. You dig? I can't get that if I'm in constant competition with the other brother that's on social media buying his followers.
Right. Right.
Or he flexing his chest and all this different stuff. No, I'm not here to look at you, bro. I'm not here to compete with you. That's what you do, cool. And so I want to tell the ladies again,
and the brothers.
And the brothers too. But ladies, we don't want that. We want you.
Yes.
If you ain't got no behind, don't go buy one. Don't. If you ain't got no breasts, don't go buy them. We want you as God made you. I'm talking good men. Cause y'all say, oh, I want me a good man. Okay, I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you tips. I'm giving you game. Free 99 game. Don't go out here and, like my wife said, alter what God has wonderfully made.
Right.
Because you can't best wonderfully. There's nothing better than wonderful.
Nothing better.
There's nothing better than wonderfully made.
But you have to know this. And again, I will say to those that are watching tonight, this is a question for all of us. Have we delved in some parts of social media too much? Do we need to pull back from being on social media unnecessarily? If you got businesses, I understand it. If you want to go and laugh at something like a joke or something like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But when you're on there looking for identity, when you're looking for your identity, you won't find it there. What you'll find there, you'll find opposite of that. And what it could do is what it's done to many who have lost their lives, who have given up, who have killed themselves, suicide, because they felt like they did not measure up to the next person on social media. And like you said, being bullied on social media, fishing for likes. Oh, I want you to like me, fishing for hearts. Do you understand most of the people that you're fishing for likes and hearts with, they have more issues than you do.
Right.
and you're over there looking at them. I want, my whole message in this as well, I want you to love yourself, like yourself. If there is something that you need to look at internally, step back from social media and go and sit and have some time with yourself, so that you'll figure out, this might be some things I need to address in me.
Yes.
We want you to be a better version of yourself, not a better version of someone else.
Right. Or a carbon copy.
A carbon copy.
Or a duplicate or an imitation of someone else.
No.
You are an original.
Oh,
you
God
are an
made
original.
You wonderful.
You are not a copy of someone else.
Right.
And so stop adding parts and pieces like Lego blocks.
Yes.
You're not Lego blocks where I can take this big piece and I can attach it onto me. No, you are already an original.
Yes.
So rock your flat butt.
Rock it.
Rock your real behind.
Rock it.
Rock your real breasts.
Right.
Brothers, if you got a little gut right now, rock it and get into the gym and tone it.
That's right.
Do what you got to do,
right,
so that you can enhance and make better what God has already given you,
yes,
not alter it.
No.
And so you guys, again, this is not to bash or to condemn or to demean those who have had cosmetic surgery, because I know there are people that are watching who have.
Right.
This
and
is
some
not
had to.
Yeah, and some have had to.
Yes.
Exactly. That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole
nother thing.
Right.
Right. When you've had to, that's different.
Right.
And I think that like everything, that's what the advent of cosmetic surgery was most likely for.
Right.
Was for people who have had accidents or have been deformed in some kind of way or whatever. That's what it was for. But like the devil always does, is he comes in, puts his hand in it, manipulates it, distorts it, twists it up, and now he creates what? A $46 billion industry off of people's pain.
Off of people.
And off of people's loss of identity and who they are.
Right. They banking on you
They're banking on you. They're banking on you to hate yourself.
Right. They're banking on.
They're banking on you to compete with other people that you're not even in their league and they're not in yours.
Right.
You're not in the same league, because again, you individually are wonderfully made.
Yeah. You're unique.
You're unique.
Even your fingerprints.
And nobody can do it like you.
No.
Nobody has your eye.
No.
Nobody has your fingerprints.
No.
Nobody has your voice pattern. Everything is unique about you. And so if you're going to go around here and you're going to be trying to duplicate and imitate, you're going to be miserable, fam.
Absolutely.
Ladies, again, we don't even want you looking like the housewives of Atlanta. Now you got
any of them.
And let me say this. I want to, because I got my people from Africa that are watching as well. When we took a trip out to Nigeria, Abuja, a couple years ago, we were appalled to see beautiful dark-skinned sisters, beautiful, buying skin bleaching products to make themselves lighter. Now, that's such an oxymoron, because over here in the States and in the West, you got white folks spending billions of dollars on tanning products to make themselves darker.
Right.
Going to the beach,
sitting
in the sun for 5 hours with suntan lotion and chemicals on to make their skin darker. They're coming over here and pumping their lips with collagen and all this different stuff to make their lips fatter, not knowing that it doesn't look natural and it really doesn't look good and it's not attractive. But they're doing all this and spending all this money to look like you.
Right. To look like,
to have to have the fatness of the natural lips that you have in Africa.
Right.
To have the fatness of the roundness of your behind that you were born with in Africa.
Right.
To have the tone of the smooth skin and the dark skin that you have from Africa. They're spending money, billions of dollars, to make themselves have what it is that you naturally have. And I'm running out of breath, because you're altering yourself to try to look like that, to try to look like them, and nothing against white people, nothing against Caucasians, because they're beautiful too.
Yes.
But here we got both sides trying to alter something that God gave them naturally.
Right.
If he wanted you to be that skin color, you would have been that skin color, baby girl.
Right. And something, and thank you for coming on. Dave, Danny, you're absolutely right. Men are miserable too. You're absolutely right. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I didn't start being in athletics because I wanted to look good physically on the outside.
Right.
Had nothing to do with that. But I'm in a world now where I see even those who are in the world of personal training and in fitness, health and fitness. It's more about, I got me a 99 pack up here. You ain't got one.
Right.
You know, showing that, showing all of that, showing the legs and showing, okay, I'm strong at the top. Look at me. Look how good I look. You know, you're right. Men have it too. And again, it goes back to your why and what is going on. A lot of times, and women can, we women know this. Don't be fooled. Men have issues, okay? Men have issues. They just don't talk like we talk.
Right. I love that Dave said that, and shout out to Dave, Danny, that's on.
Yes.
Some other people have joined in and jumped in too, and I just want to acknowledge them. A girl, Toya Alexander, she has jumped on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Toya.
I saw you,
She jumped into the conversation. Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
This gentleman, Josh Peterson, if you're still on, man, thank you for tuning in, brother.
Yes.
Feel free to like all of our pages and continue to follow us, man, and continue to chime in with your comments. Thank you so much.
Our son is on as well.
Our son, all the way in Abuja, Nigeria, Joshua Bonga is up. They up late, and they're tuning in to us. Thank you so much, son.
Yes.
But again, Danny said something earlier. He said men are miserable too. Who really want to kiss someone that put fat from the butt in their lips?
That's
Fam,
right.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. And again, this is not to slight anyone who has done cosmetic surgery, because again, we don't want to shame you. We don't want to denigrate you. But what we are saying to you is be aware that you're already enough. Your lips are fine. Your backside is fine. Because that's how it was given to you. Your nose is fine. Your chin and all that is fine. What if Jay Leno is one of the most celebrated comedians of our generation, talk show host as well?
Yeah,
What if Jay Leno looked in the mirror and said, man, I hate my long chin, and he did something to alter his chin? He would not be Jay Leno.
No.
He is synonymous with his long chin.
Right. And he had to be comfortable enough.
And he had to be comfortable with that.
To say, okay, because he's a comedian.
Right.
But look, people, always talking about it, always talking about his chin. He's being drawn, and people are saying negative things about it.
Right.
But Jay did not go and do anything.
Right.
He left it like it was.
Right.
And you know him. When you see him, you can spot him across the street.
Right.
Hey, that's Jay Leno.
That's Jay Leno. You know that from that chin.
And guess what? Jay Leno's made some money, right?
And he's a multi-millionaire,
Right.
probably a billionaire.
Right.
Because he used what God gave him.
He used what he had.
He used what he had.
Yes.
Like Dave said, everybody knows him by their chin. Absolutely.
Everyone knows.
And so,
by that.
again, we're not here to bash. Don't go alter what God has wonderfully made. Because
Right.
again, there's nothing that can top wonderful.
Nothing.
Find me an adjective that can top wonderful. You can't.
You cannot.
You were marvelously and wonderfully made.
Right.
Top them two adjectives. You can't do it.
You can't.
Because God said, I threw away the mold when I made you. I made no duplicates, and I will never make a duplicate. And so you are who you are, and you have what you have. Again, you can enhance it, you can beautify it. Nothing wrong with that. But when you start wanting to alter and cut and snip and add, this is not Legoland. You're not Legos.
Right. And then it becomes dangerous.
And then it becomes dangerous where you cut something off,
right,
and you can't get it back.
Right. And then you injecting things in your body. You
Right.
don't know the reaction that your body could have to
Right.
it.
And see, right now you're getting the temporary high off of the likes again. Then we go back to social media. You're getting the temporary high from the likes and the attention and the hearts and the love that you're getting on social media, but you don't know the long-term effects of what it is that you put into your body.
That's right.
You don't know what that butt injection and that BBL is going to do 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What's it going to do to your abdomen? What's it going to do to your intestines?
Right.
What are those chemicals going to do to your legs or to your feet?
Right.
But you want temporary gratification on Instagram, and Instagram probably won't even be popping 5 years from now.
Everything changes
y'all.
So quickly and so fast.
Right.
Even in the field that we're in, the industry that we're in.
Right.
I mean, we're always having to consistently learn something new and different.
Right.
So while you're trying to look like how they're telling you now, guess what? It's going to change.
It's going to change.
You're going to have to look like something next. They're going to want you to look like Pinocchio.
Right. And so you guys, it's been a great show, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We're going to be back right after this quick message.
Yes.
We got to pay some bills, but we're going to be right back, you guys, and we're going to close out the show right here on Living More with the Morgans. Don't go nowhere.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back with you.
We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Landis Ray Morgan, and I'm here with my beautiful wife.
Hello, I'm Rotunda Morgan.
And this is your official invitation to check out our new podcast, Living More with the Morgans, which airs every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern. You can check us out live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can connect with us on our Instagram and TikTok. More life, more love, there's more to explore on Living More with the Morgans. See you soon. All right, you guys, and we're back to close out tonight's show of Living More with the Morgans. And so again, if you tuned in with us, you guys have been a great audience tonight. We see you right now on our social media pages. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, to follow, to connect with us on our social media platforms. And again, you can do it all over social media.
Yes.
On Facebook right now at facebook.com/Living More Morgans. We're also on Instagram, instagram.com/Living More Morgans. We're on Twitter, twitter.com/Live More Morgans. We had to shorten it, so it's Live More Morgans. And then we're also on YouTube and on TikTok at Live More Morgans. And so you guys, it has been a great show. And again,
it's been a great show.
We're having a lot of fun, but also, again, we got to dive into these topics because, again, in the faith-based community, we're kind of brushing a lot of stuff under the table.
Right.
And we're acting like it don't exist. Oh, we can ignore it. I don't see 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 it. No, God is exposing you to it so that you do see it and that you do something about it so the generation coming behind us ain't got to deal with it.
Absolutely.
Right? There's certain things that there are certain Philistines that we need to kill in our generation so that the generation coming behind us ain't dealing with the same Philistines.
They don't have to deal with it. We don't want them to deal with it.
And we don't want them to have to. I don't want my kids to have to be killing the same stuff that I was fighting in my time, in my generation. I want my grandkids having to fight that stuff.
Right.
And so if we're not talking about it, if we're not having positive, open discourse about it, if we're not dealing with the issues and problems that we're facing in our society, then guess what? Your grandchildren and your kids are going to be dealing with this. Right. And they may not necessarily have the wisdom or the tools during their time to be able to deal with it and what we could do. And God is going to hold us accountable because we're doing a lot of praying and we're doing a lot of shouting and we're raising a lot of offerings and we're doing a lot of conferences. But are we tackling issues that people every day are dealing with in society? The rich are dealing with it.
Right.
The poor are dealing with it. White, black, Hispanic,
it's in
Asian,
our churches.
And our churches, believers,
everywhere.
Non-believers, Muslims,
right.
Buddhists,
children.
Everybody's dealing with it.
Right.
Gay, straight, transgender now. Everybody's dealing with stuff. Are we going to be scared to touch those topics and deal with them head on? Or are we going to sweep this stuff under the rug and act like it don't exist?
Right.
You guys,
and
we have
to.
We have to, and we have a charge to keep.
We do. We do not want our children and our children's children to have to deal with the things that we could have faced head on.
Yeah.
Yes, some topics are hard. They're difficult. They can be challenging and scary. But are we going to be mighty, like God says that we are, and face these challenges head on, knowing that we can do it? Or are we going to say, I didn't see it? Or are we going to sweep it under the rug and allow it to do what? Fester. And then another generation has to deal with it. We cannot. We're living in a time now that everything is changing so fast, so vast. And if we do not understand that everything that we see is not for us, everything that they tell us, that's not for you to do. Right. It is just propaganda, again, to get your money, okay? And to get you to feel bad about yourself or make you look at yourself as if you're not enough. Right. We want to ask the question again, do you like you? And if you say to me, if you're answering this question, you say no, I admonish you to step back, take a hard look at the things that you don't like, the things that you need to change. I'm talking about internally. I'm not talking about on the outside. And look at yourself and see what it is that you need to address. There could have been someone that came along to tell you growing up in your life that you wasn't enough. You're ugly. You're not this. You could have gone through some trauma, some issues. It is now time for you to look at those issues and really dig deep in it. Whether you need therapy, there's nothing wrong with that. Get whatever you need to get. To make sure you feel whole in yourself. Not validation from others. Not validation from people who don't even like themselves as well. But feeling validated within yourself because you took the necessary steps to go out there to make sure that you feel whole, you feel loved, you love yourself, no matter what you think or how you should look. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. Yes. God did not make any junk. And when we alter things, we're telling God, you didn't do it right. Think about that. He did it right. Now I want you to make sure that you feel that and know that you are enough. You're more than enough.
Yes. Awesome word, honey. And to close this out, you guys, again, tonight we've been asking ourselves the question.
Right.
Do you like you?
Do you like you?
And if you are finding it hard to like you,
right,
because like my wife said, the trauma that you've been through, the childhood that you were raised in, the environment. Yes. Maybe the environment that you grew up in, the household you grew up in, or the family, or the neighborhood, or the town that you grew up in did not accept you for who you are. That doesn't mean that you're junk.
No.
That doesn't mean that you need to waste your life or that you were not created in the image that God intended for you to be. Because you were. But somewhere along the way that has crept into your mind or into many of our minds is that we're not good enough. We don't have the brawn or the brains of what we see someone else have. Or we don't have the beauty that we see others have and possess.
Right.
We don't have the following. And it is in the church world, it is in the religious world because we are sizing up our congregations to others. We're sizing up the impact of our ministry based on how many people are watching our broadcasts or how many people are attending our Sunday services. That's not how you weigh effectiveness. That's not how you weigh God's power and anointing on your life. Because last I heard, Saul was head and shoulders tall above all the people. And he was anointed to be king. But then God chooses this little good-looking cat who's a musician and a shepherd boy to say, I'm going to make his name great. That's who I'm going to use. God said, I'm going to use the foolish things to confound the wise. And maybe he's going to use you with your imperfections that you think are imperfect. And he's going to use you with your thin lips or your big lips. He's going to use you with your long nose or your wide nose or your pug nose. Or maybe like Jay Leno, he's going to use you with your long chin or your deep voice or your high-pitched voice. Or he's going to maybe use you with your A cup or your flat behind or your double D's or your badunkadunk. Either way, you're still fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
And you ain't got to alter anything that God has given you to appease and to appeal to anybody. If you're single, the man that God has for you as a woman, he's going to want you for you. He's going to love you for you. And if he don't, then he's not God sent.
That's right.
And vice versa to the brothers.
Yes.
If you ain't packing a 6-pack right now, and you packing a keg, a belly.
Right.
If she sees the God in you and the man that you are and you're going to become, if she sees in you the father of how you're going to raise those kids in excellence in an environment of safety and protection, then don't worry about no 6-pack, bro. Use what God gave you.
Right, right. I want to say this to Mr. Dave Daddy. You are more than enough, sir.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what the environment. Look. You've gotten through all of that. I don't care what the environment tried to do, the people tried to do to you. You are needed in this world.
Yes.
God needs you and people need you.
Yes.
They need your testimony. They need your story. And you're more than enough.
Yes.
I believe that you're a father. If I'm wrong,
believe so too.
I believe so. Your children need you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what am I saying? Stand. Believe that you're enough.
Yes.
I'm telling you that you are.
Absolutely.
There's other men that feel the same way. But look what God has done.
And can I say this? I want to add to that. We as men
Yes.
don't esteem each other enough.
Yes. You don't.
We as men don't high-five each other enough. We'll
Yes.
high-five each other at football games and basketball games, but we don't high-five each other in the accomplishments that we're doing in a very tough life.
Yeah.
From very tough beginnings.
Yes.
Through a very tough childhood and trauma. And so if you're still here and you're a man, through all the hell that you've been through all the things that society has thrown at you wherever you live and wherever you're from, and you're still here and you're still with your kids and you're still with your woman and you're still head of your family and you're still pushing strong, big ups to you and salute to you from one man to another.
Amen.
If you're still going after your dreams, even if they didn't hire you, even if they won't hire you because your resume doesn't have this and you don't look the part and you don't look like this, but you still going and you still here. As one man to another,
Yes.
you got what it takes and you are enough.
You're enough.
And we are fearfully
And
wonderfully made. To those who are tuned in, I believe he's in Guyana.
Yes.
In South America. We got our son all the way in Africa watching right now,
Yes.
late at night. And to those who may be watching throughout the country and around the world, we say thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time
Yes.
and we appreciate you
Yes.
because you are wonderfully made.
Yes.
Until next Tuesday, you guys, again, join us right here on all of our social platforms for Living More with the Morgans.
Yes.
And we'll be back next Tuesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Again, hit us up on social media with your comments, with your statements. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
Also, I want to throw this in. We're 2 followers away on Facebook from 400 followers.
Come on, you guys.
So if you're not following us on social media, on the Living More with the Morgans on Facebook, we need 2 to get to 400.
Yes.
Let that be you.
Yes.
We'd love to hear from you.
We would.
Until then, you guys.
Until then.
We love you and have a good night.
Love you.